Yo, Wagwan people, man. Yes, London Open TV and the Indigo Child right here. We're doing a this is London Open TV special. So what this is about is getting a collective of people, like-minded people, to deep dive and talk about stuff that's going on in the now. You know what I mean? And some past stuff, but it's more about the collective consciousness and just not the normal stuff that you will hear on podcasts, especially from the UK. You know what I mean? So this is the Indigo Child. Like, I've been following him for what I can't even remember when I started following you, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? But when I saw you on Big Up Powers for breakfast.
Yeah, Big Up Powers, man. Wow.
All the while. You need to come back, bro. There's enough for all of us to eat here. We need you back. You know what I mean? When I saw you on Powerful Breakfast, I was just like, raw. But I was following you before then. But I got a deeper insight into your thing when you went on to Powerful Breakfast, and I was just amazed by the knowledge that you obtain, and more than that, the way you deliver your knowledge. Because I think there's some people with knowledge that can't deliver their knowledge to the people, so the people can digest it. I think you deliver like digestible knowledge.
Thank you, King.
You know what I mean? It's easy on the flow. You know what I mean? So
thank you.
And I've been seeing you've been covering a lot of relevant topics again. I think you went away for a little while.
I did, yeah. I had to take a break, and I was building my land off grid in Portugal. But I've come back, and Babylon's fallen, so the lion's out of the cage now. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
So you're off grid in Portugal?
Yeah. I was living off grid in Portugal since October.
Oh, wow.
And simply to build a self-efficient life that doesn't require Babylon. Yeah. And like where a community of people can gather together, you know, grow food. We had an allotment, solar panels, all that kind of stuff. That's the vision for me still, for sure.
Okay, because I hear a lot of people talking about off-grid, but you're actually...
I did it.
You did it.
I sold everything, got a one-way ticket. It's just I've got some family stuff happening. And this is the thing I've realised. Going off-grid is amazing, but I've got people in the blocks in South London, man. And I don't like the idea of escaping from what's about to happen. Just me and my family, let's run off to the mountains and like protect ourselves. I've got too many friends and family that are going to suffer when Babylon falls. And we're right around the corner now. So I've got that there, but my heart is still in South. In the blocks, you know, with my friends and family. No,
I hear you. That's the thing about escaping. Or have we come to a time when it's time to leave people behind? Because if you don't know now, if you don't see what's happening now, when are you gonna see?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely don't waste any of my time with people that are like super ignorant or like trying to hold on to the age of Pisces so hard. Like I don't really waste my time on them. But there's so many people that are aware and awake and enlightened, but like, due to their circumstances, they can't leave the block. They can't take their children out of school, even though they know it's a satanic system. And so it's like I'm trying to be there for these people right now. Okay. I call them sleeping lions. Sleeping lions.
Yeah, that's a good way to see it. Still, so when you say like holding on to the age of Pisces, what does that mean for the people that might not understand? What was the age of Pisces, and what are we going into now, or what are we in?
Okay, cool. So I use the age of Pisces just as like a terminology for the last like 2,000 plus years that we went from a the horoscope's perspective.
Yeah.
But as we know, I'm sure you know as well, that the horoscope is based on the Gregorian calendar. You know about the Gregorian calendar and how it's like we're supposed to have 13 months instead of 12 months. And so they chopped up time so that we're actually out of time. So like you start the new year in January when it should actually be more like April when the sun comes. Okay. So this is all designed to keep us out of flow. But anyway, the age of Pisces, let's just say, was a time where it was basically like the patriarchy, and it was like there was no community, there was no love for 2,000 plus years. And we're now moving into the age of Aquarius, which is all about unity, love, you know, the return of the divine feminine in men. And we're seeing, because we are actually right here now, we're seeing the disruption of everything that was holding us up before.
Yeah.
So before the new comes, the old has to die. And so we're literally right now this weekend, we're seeing it erupt on a global scale. And it's scary, but also glorious when you know that it has to happen for the love to return to the planet.
Destroy and rebuild. Out of chaos comes order.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you say, we're the age of Aquarius now, and as an Aquarius, like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like you're saying, it's love, unity, and some people are talking about we're going into a golden era. Is that what you believe? We're going into like a time where, because it seems all bad right now, but that has to happen like it's like flushing. It's like the Earth's detoxing.
Yeah.
So it's flushing out.
Yeah.
All the old ways.
Exactly that.
You know what I mean? But a lot of people just see it as doom and gloom that's going on now.
Yeah. And a lot of people are being totally manipulated because they don't know about the occult. They don't know about the prophecy, which is being fulfilled in all ways right now. And so to them, it's just like, there's so much violence and there's so much immigration and death and rape. And they have no idea how it's all coordinated by the Jesuits, the people that run this world, to bring about a civil war. And we're on a timeline now where literally we either go through like civil war and disruption and death, or we can beat the system, emancipate ourselves from the slavery of our birth certificate and become a free sovereign people eventually. I realize a lot of things I'll say. Yeah, thank you. Bring me back here, because there'll be times. So just briefly, when you're born, you're given a birth certificate, and that birth certificate in the Babylon system considers you dead and lost at sea. You're a corporation, a corpse. That's why when you're dead, like, it's a corpse. And so it means that basically from the moment you're born, you're given a birth certificate, you're instantly put in a position where you're standing under maritime law, and you've just given all your sovereignty to Babylon.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm in a position, it took me a while, but I've become the beneficiary of my birth certificate. I'm the beneficiary of my name in capital letters and in small caps.
Wow.
People don't realize that all of these things, you're not even a beneficiary of your name. You know? The straw man, which is a false entity created, that's what you're the beneficiary of. So when the police are going, Mr. John Smith, do you understand what I'm saying? If you go, yes, I'm Mr. John Smith, and yes, I understand, you've admitted to being a dead corporation, and you've admitted that you stand under the police whenever you say, I understand. Yeah, so it's like these little tricks of the trade that you start to realize.
Like I heard, if you get like a letter, like from bailiffs or whatever, from council tax and all this, and it's in capitals, it's only if you respond to that, because on my birth certificate, my name's not in capitals, and capitals represents a corporation or a business, not a living person.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, I'm not sure if.
Yeah. Your name should only ever be in capital letters on your tombstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy, the manipulation. But we wanted to speak about if I can, about what's happening in the world right now.
Oh yes. Yeah. So
if I can, I just want to take you on a little journey, starting from April the 25th, and today's June the 12th, by the way. My prediction, it's not even my prediction, the world is going to change on June the 14th. So we're 2 days away from the world never looking the same again, for sure. But we'll get to that. So I'm gonna take you on a journey. So April 20th in Camden, there was a black girl. What I'm going to say, by the way, it might sound like random, but I'm going to hopefully tie it all up and show you how it's all just part of a totalitarian tiptoe towards what we call a coup d'etat, which is an internal civil war that they're trying to bring about. So yeah, in April 25th, there was a black girl in Camden, and she went up to a white man. You may have seen it on social media, and she threw her food in his face, going, white people are inferior to black people.
Yeah, I saw that.
And she was like, so arrest me. Yeah. And she didn't care. Yeah. The mental health was obviously unbalanced. Instantly, I called it out as a psyop. A psyop is a psychological operation, so something that's designed. Either she's been paid, she's under MK Ultra, which is some kind of like brain control, or she's being blackmailed to do this. It's not an organic incidence of racism. Yeah, it's coordinated. Because at the exact same moment, and the whole world was talking about this black girl. Whenever something like that isolated goes global, it's a situation, it's a distraction, it's not genuine. Yeah. Around that same time, Kanye West did the interview wearing the black KKK outfit, while simultaneously at the Pope's funeral, they were also wearing the black KKK outfit. Now, a lot of people were saying it's to do with like a Spanish or Italian holiday or something, but bun all of that, all we're saying is black KKK. Yeah, I'm not here for the details. Kanye West wears a black KKK outfit before the Pope's funeral and before the Pope's death, and then like a few days later, that happens, Again, mass MK Ultra and mass distraction for what's about to happen, which is World War III. Okay, cool. So that was on the 25th. The next day, in Russia, they have a inactive radio station that was inactive for 70 years. It's called their Doomsday radio station. And they've always said, when this turns on, everything, like shit hits the fan when this turns on. And it turned on the 26th of April. There was a sound, and you can research this. It's called UVB76.
Wow.
Yeah, so the Russians' Doomsday radio has now activated, Cool. Okay, 2 days after that, there was the synchronized European blackout attacks. Yeah, so we saw a blackout in Portugal, Spain, Belgium, and France. This is right after Russia's Doomsday radio have gone off. Cool. Okay, a few days later, 3rd of May, we had a coordinated attack in the UK on 4 of our biggest companies, 3 of them. Marks and Spencer's, which is, I've boycotted Marks and Spencer's for like 10 years. They've been funding Israel for time. Most people don't know that. Boom, they're attacked, yeah. Remember, Russia would be against that, so they've attacked Marks and Spencer's. Co-op was attacked. You remember that?
Yeah.
Co-op was hit the hardest in the UK. The Co-op has pretty much all of the funeral details and like burial details of everyone in the UK. So it's not just as simple as like, oh, I go to Co-op for my sushi. They're a deep, like, integral part of the British company.
There was an insurance company first.
All of that stuff. So it's a deep thing, yeah. Cool. And then Harrods was cyber attacked, and there's a whole madness behind Harrods. So that was the 3rd of May. And obviously everyone's saying I'm a conspiracy theorist, I'm a fearmongerer. But when you can see all of these steps happening, it's very clear, you know, what's about to happen. On the 7th of May, almost all co-ops were now completely empty. I don't know if you ever went into a co-op and saw it yourself. Like the shelves were totally gone. So an unfathomable time. Cool. So jump forward now. I was in Greece when this happened. It's 21st of May. And this was unfathomable to me. So Spain had a mobile network outage. Yeah. So pretty much most people in Spain couldn't use their phone for a period of time. Now, do you know about how Babylon used propaganda and MK Ultra in TV and movies and films, yeah?
Predictive
programming, yeah. So on this day, when Europe's had another blackout, an EastEnders episode comes out, and EastEnders is the BBC, and the BBC being the biggest news channel and the biggest channel on the planet, EastEnders being their biggest hitting TV show. On that exact day of the blackouts, there was an episode where a girl called Lauren, her child, she found out, was blind.
Lauren Browning.
Yeah. Pifting. And then her family, she found out her son was blind. And so like she was sitting in the hospital and suddenly it went black, like a blackout. And she was like, oh, this is what it's like to be blind. Yeah. Manipulate that shit. Like, people are like, what are you talking about? You're a conspiracy theorist. It's very clear. Like, this is showing you how much they programmed this. That show would have been recorded months before, and it just happens to land on the exact same day that there's a blackout. Yeah, cool. So you get that. The next day, I'm just banging them out the park right now. NASA, and as we know, NASA's a fake organization, but regardless, they've told the whole world to prepare for global blackouts because of CMEs. Yeah, these are coronal mass injections, so solar flares. Yeah, so they're preparing everyone for global blackouts. And that was only the day after the EastEnders episode. And then 2 days after, in Norway, a massive ship just appeared in this man's garden. I don't know if you saw it, it was all over the news. The reason this is significant is because in the film Leave the World Behind, which is the #1 piece of satanic propaganda made by the disgusting Obamas, they were telling us how World War III is about to start, and they have to tell you what they're about to do so that they don't receive the karmic retribution. They believe in their satanic belief. If they tell us what they're about to do to us, they don't receive the karma. So they made the film Leave the World Behind, as one of the pieces of propaganda. And in that film, the first attack was the ships going crazy and just like, and also you saw planes coming out the sky. Only an hour ago, me and you saw in India, today, there was a plane from India to Gatwick and it just exploded. 242 people, something died straight away.
It just blew up.
Just blew up. Bare planes are falling out of the sky, just like the film predicted would happen. Yeah. So,
and you've got to go back a little as well with all the planes that's been dropping out of the sky this year. With 2025, the way technology is supposed to be so advanced, how is this happening in 2025?
Exactly.
Like, this wasn't happening in the 90s. So how's it happening now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's more, you're safer in a plane than a car, fundamentally. So the fact that they're all happening, it's all coordinated, and it's been pre-warned by the Obamas. So that ship in Norway happened, so that's the 24th. So that's another major psychological part of their plan complete. Yeah, like we're showing you that ships are like just crashing everywhere. Okay, this is the major one now. So 2 days after that was the Liverpool attack. Yeah, do you remember when the guy drove through in Liverpool?
Crowd,
because
when they were celebrating.
No, I'm like more live to people if you like football, but for me, football's it's a game that came from slavery. It's just been used to manipulate us throughout. Like, I'm not saying if you like football, that's all on you, but it's completely all manipulated without a shadow of a doubt. It's all Freemasons, just like it is with like boxing. It's all a game.
Interesting fact as well. The FA started in the Freemason Lodge in Holborn. In Holborn, there's actually a plaque on the wall saying the FA started here in the Freemason Lodge. It's on the wall, bruv. Outside the Freemason Lodge in Holborn.
Wow.
You know
Well, there you go. It's and even like it was like I think it was 33 years since the Premier League started or something. So 33 being 33-degree Freemasons. It's all 33 vertebrates in our spine. It's a very loud number. So anyway, that attack that happened in Liverpool is the start of preparing us for the most violent summer we've ever had. Because let me take you back to last year with Axel. You know, Axel, the Doctor Who actor from BBC who stabbed 3 white girls and they all died apparently. And
I saw it was like something like 9 or 8 or something girls he stabbed.
Yeah. There was about maybe like 7 or 8 people got stabbed, but 3 died.
Okay, yeah.
And I knew it was a psyop from the second they mentioned Taylor Swift over the on the news. You heard that, yeah? They were like, oh, like something to do with Taylor Swift. As soon as I heard that, I was like, okay, we're talking about Satanism. We're talking about mass ritual. Listen, racism exists, of course, yeah, but these coordinated events, like I started with the girl from Camden, it's all done on design, to bring about racial hatred so that we just fucking don't trust each other and it's black against white, police against, and it keeps on bringing us around in a circle instead of us moving into...
The chessboard, black against white.
Yeah. So that was a major development, May 26th, the football psyop. And around that week as well, there was multiple attacks in other countries, Vancouver, Belgium. They also had pretty much the same attack happen. Like someone just goes mental. Cool. The next day, Tommy Robinson's released from prison.
Looking like Wolverine, I see it.
Yeah. He's looking like Bigfoot. It was the most bizarre. Well, if you ask me, he's looking like a clone. He's not looking like the same person, but...
That's what I thought, when I thought, that's not Tommy.
Yeah.
That's not Tommy.
No, exactly. I literally was staring at it for time and I had to go and see old photos of him. I was like, what? First of all, he was in like solitary confinement for months. Like he should have come out, anyone would come out slightly glitchy. Yeah. He's come out confident like a king and stuff. Yeah, it's all a game. He's a Zionist. He's being paid like unfathomable money to keep on causing disruption. And so after a situation happened in Liverpool and people wasn't sure if it was an immigrant or a white guy in the car, and it's already been revealed that the person that did it isn't the person in the car. Have you seen on the news? They said, we've arrested this white man. It's already been shown he was a stunt actor, but the actual man in the car is looking like some like handsome like 30-year-old Russian don or something. Yeah. It's mad. It's mad. Have you seen the video where it's like his hand looks like a mannequin when he's driving it? It's not. He's like bare stiff.
And the first person that got knocked over looked like a mannequin flew over the car.
Yeah. Bounced far off.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on here?
So these are called crisis actors. You know, you research George Soros. This is what he's doing with Black Lives Matter, LGBT, all of these false organizations. Yeah. So cool. Tommy Robinson's released. That's now set the pot. The UK is like spinning anger. We're right on the edge. Yeah. Especially like we're just right on the edge. We've got Reform UK almost about to go in Parliament. That shows you the stage where we're at in the UK. Yeah. And then you go and drop Tommy Robinson at that time. Yeah. And he was released early as well. Cool. Now we're going to jump a few days now towards where we are now. So June the 5th, Donald and Elon Trump split. Yeah, they were best friends. And then Elon Musk is calling Donald Trump a PDF file. And Donald Trump saying, I'm going to stop everything to do with Tesla in the country. This is unfathomable trauma stacking.
To add to I just want to know, you think about it, Elon, that when that happened, he had a black eye. And the symbolism of the black eye thing. Yeah.
Well, the symbolism of the black eye would suggest that they've like put a microchip in him, took over him. Like he's now under their control, would be the symbolism of that. Or to do with adrenochrome and all the children blood harvesting. Either way, it's all a game. Anyone that believes in Donald Trump or Elon Musk, you're clapped with the deepest of respect. It's all a game. Yeah. And cool. So all right, cool. So June the 8th, we're on this week now. June the 8th was the start of basically the LA riots around that time. And across the world we saw 5 Teslas burning. Hey, they weren't Teslas, they were automatic driving cars, but they looked like Teslas. White cars burning. You saw the footage and everyone's going crazy. This is another part of the Leave the World Behind propaganda being complete. Because if you saw where Julia Robinson, whatever her name is, goes and sees the Teslas and all the Teslas are like
lined up,
blocking the road.
Yeah.
That's, even though it's not the exact same thing, we're seeing 5 cars that don't need drivers, like, blocking the street. Unfathomable propaganda. I haven't done the Dramantry on that yet, but I'm sure it would be crazy. And Dramantry is when you, like, everything's coded in the name. So, like, say your name's A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. Like, so this is how deep it gets. Like,
kind of like numerology.
It's all of that stuff. Kind of.
In.
Yeah. Cool. So that was 8th of June. Yeah. Now, 2 days ago, So what day is it today? Thursday, the 12th of June. So the 10th of June, the leader of Al-Qaeda, this is the most significant part of this now, yeah? The leader of Al-Qaeda has called for all Muslims around the world to start assassinating. This is global. He's actually put the video out, yeah? I can't stress how unfathomable this development is. So for about 3 years, I've been talking about it, and my knowledge, a lot of it comes from Nostradamus's prophecies. Nostradamus said that the third Antichrist will come out of the Middle East. He said that it will happen around the time when there is like an evil genius, which is friends with the president, clearly Elon Musk. But they will turn on each other, which is just, I can't even tell you, we're living in like the moment right now. He said that the president and the evil genius will go separate sides. And then he said that, and this is where I lose friends and followers, we have to be bold enough to say the truth here, yeah? They want to bring about Islamic law to the whole planet. They want, I think it's called Sharia law, Sharia. Yeah. So but also it's not actually the Muslims. I love Muslims. Yeah, it's actually the Jesuits and the Zionists that are doing this, but they're going to use Islam to hide their agenda, yeah? So how do you bring about the destruction of the West? You infiltrate the country. How do you infiltrate the country? You open up the borders. Last week in Kent alone, 1,200 unregistered men just came into the UK. People all across the UK right now are finding out that like these men are near primary schools and children are being attacked. Like it's just not because of like journalism. No one's actually really seeing what's happening, but it's unfathomable right now. Now this is radical Muslims, yeah, that I'm talking about. Not like you're not Mr. like Abdul upstairs or like Mr. Muhammad, your science teacher that you respect. I'm talking about radical Muslims that hate you. They hate us. Yeah.
They hate the West.
And the worst thing is, like, I can't really even blame them too tough. Like, we in the UK are the most evil parasite on the planet. Yeah. As black men, there's 3 of us in this room, black men, like, it's hard even being in this country. Yeah, because of what they've done to our ancestors. It's unfathomable, actually. It's interesting that we chose to be born here. In the seat of Satan instead of back home in Ethiopia or something, you know?
I told you I live 5 minutes from Buckingham Palace.
Yes, you're right in the centre.
I'm like, God, why did you put me here for? Everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right in the centre. So, even like about 5 years ago, I was living behind some shops and there was a whole bunch of Muslim men, and every morning about 5 in the morning they would run around the area topless with a black flag, and they used to say we're just training. They never told us what, but we're training for something. And me and my mum always used to say, Indigoo, just be super nice to them, like be super nice, because when they go mad maybe they just won't shoot you. That's how serious my mum's been on it, and me for so the fact that this has now happened, the leader of Al-Qaeda, and I put a video out, there was a video of 4 Muslim men in a car, you may have seen it, and they're basically saying death to the West. That came out in about 24 hours. It got 45 million views. Yeah. So, and this is all happening this week while also everything's happening in America and planes are falling out of the sky. Earthquakes are happening all over the place. North Korea just started back in, one of you will have to remind me his name, Ibrahim Traoré.
Ibrahim Traoré,
Yeah. Who's no doubt the only black king on the planet right now, truly. North Korea is backing him. Like, everything's so crazy. And then just at that moment, Al-Qaeda has said, now it's time. So the prophecy basically says that there's going to be coordinated attacks all across the planet by these false radical Islamic people.
Yeah.
And it's very important to say, again, it's not like your humble Muslims that you love. We're talking about a radicalized, marginalized proxy group, which are going to be used to destroy the West from inside. And it'll be connected to Hamas. It'll be connected to all of it. So that was on June the 10th, yeah. Last night, I was in bed and Iran was put on high alert because Donald Trump ordered all American civilians to evacuate. And this is basically the moment now. We're actually here now where it's all about to pop off in the Middle East. And it's all leading to June the 14th. So like I said, it's Thursday today. We've got 2 more days, Saturday. Saturday, there's 1,800 protests. 1,800 protests in America alone. And it's done by a company called There's No Kings. And you can check it out, nokings.org. And
I think what's funny about the American one is that a point that people's making is they're protesting, but they're protesting with Mexican flags. So people are like, why don't you go to Mexico? How can you be protesting in America about America being bad, but you're holding up your country flag with pride? It made me kind of things like, that doesn't make no sense. This seems set up. Like, why? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, in the sense of like, you're here, but you're putting up your flag, complaining about this. It's a bit.
Yeah. Well, have you seen like all the bricks that are just being dropped on the street?
Yeah.
It's exactly what happened in Black Lives Matter, George Soros, when George Floyd died.
Yeah.
Yeah, which again was a Freemason false flag
Look
operation.
how everyone stood up for that. Even in England, when I went down, because like I told you, I live across the road, and I saw the different, like the youth rise. And how I described that moment was they took the steam out of us. That was supposed to be used for something else, something more. What
righteous.
was going on at the time, the lockdown, and what the government was doing to us. But what they done, they just, took the steam out of us. Everyone, the youth was supposed to come out for something meaningful. Yeah. But now the youth thinking that, we done something. We came out for Black Lives Matter, which was a psyops. It was obviously, it's come out now. Look, where's Black Lives Matter? They're missing.
What we got to do is just look who funds it, and what they've been doing with the money. It's an embarrassment. The ancestors would be ashamed. It's that we can just be so easily manipulated. By white people. Fundamentally, it was who run it at the top. Okay, and then the last development, and then we can open this up to whatever. But the last development is, I was literally sitting with you before we came into the podcast, and this is only an hour ago that this came out. But the UK government have confirmed that they're training IDF members on UK soil, which is Israeli Defense Forces. Yeah. So again, like if you know, it's unfathomable that this is happening. Like the same people that are bombing Palestine and like we're so ashamed of, we're training them ourselves. And also, let's not forget, we pay for Palestine to be bombed. We're so complicit in evil. It's unfathomable. Like if you have a simple job, I don't work here for this reason, and I know many people won't be able to do what I do. But if you have a job and you pay taxes, you've just paid for a child to be bombed. It's like it's not about whether I like you or not. That's just a fact. This is what your tax-paying money goes to. I don't pay Satan money, so hence why, and we can talk about this later. Why it's about trying to be off grid as much as possible. Yeah, and stuff like that.
Them training them, and we're funding Israel. And I think if you go to protesting, I think like protesting, like we're pros at protesting. When's the protesting gonna stop?
We're pros at protesting. Yeah, you're right. Almost all protests are manipulated, you know, as you know, done on a full moon or a new moon, run by some kind of agent provocateur, all Freemason led. And I remember like 2020, I was at all the protests. I was never protesting. I was documenting it like you do. Yeah. And I would be looking at the main person with the speaker going, why is he trying to get everyone to go down this one road when there's feds down this one road? So, something simple. And then he gets everyone down that one road because we're all just following, because everyone's just smoking weed, not really protesting. And next thing you know, we're all caught on a road. So there was so much manipulation, so much violence happening, And
I think a lot of them are manipulated ones, but I noticed, like say the Ibrahim Traore one that I was at recently, no coverage on the news.
Yeah. That was a genuine one.
That's when you know that even the lockdown ones I went to, I'm talking about one I went to was nearly, you could say 1 million people was there, bro. Like it was crazy how much people was there. Not one piece of coverage on the news. Because people's actually standing up for something meaningful. And it was blacks, it was whites. It's like there was a unity. They didn't want to show that. Yeah. We're marching past the BBC. We're outside the BBC. They don't want to show that. You know what I mean? Like say all these Palestine ones as well. Like even I went to a Palestine, I didn't even go to one. I was just walking past. I saw Palestine, and I was thinking, how are all these people here? Where's their jobs? There's like over 1 million, bro. Like the last one I went to in Waterloo, there was crazy amounts of people, and me and my friend was just like, how is this possible? So they all took time off work.
Wow, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It was just a normal day, and it was like hundreds of like the line. We're standing there for like 20 minutes recording, the line just going vroom,
wow.
Vroom.
And imagine how much that would have affected the economy, the world, all them people not working for one day.
All them people.
People power is amazing. And like I see the value in protest. It's not, I don't do it. I don't waste a moment of my time screaming at people to demand change when I know it's so beyond that. Like it's but I get it. Like we were saying this earlier, it's great for community, it's great for meeting friends. Yeah. Relationships, whatever you want, you're gonna find it at protest most probably with like-minded people. But again, I don't go there to make friends. I ain't here to make friends with no one. I'm here to do the work, And so I've gone there to document it. And also, like, I know there's going to be some major protests coming up. Maybe we'll roll together, I'm going there as like an undercover agent to record and expose the protest. That's my next one. Like to go there and then go straight to the top people and be like, who's funding you? And, or like be there the night before to catch people putting the bricks out and expose the whole thing,
because we're gonna have some big ones coming. Because even what's happening Northern Ireland right now.
Oh man.
Yeah, with the immigration
Bro, it's
thing.
mad, that one.
Because it doesn't make no sense. I get white British people, yeah, like their argument against immigration. I get it to an extent because I was born here in it as well, and I'm seeing an influx of men. And I like what they said. Immigration is bringing down the price of jobs. So say, for instance, the industry that I was in, security guard. I was looking at security guard jobs the other day. They're £12, £13 an hour. How? Like, if crime's gone up, yeah, and security guard 2012, when I was in security guard a bit more harder, yeah, like, there was the same price to jobs. So how's the price the same? Because when you go into these stores now, I'm sorry, it's a lot of South Asian, man. It's a lot of immigrants that have got these jobs now, so, but they won't complain. They don't care. You understand? They'll take £10 an hour. So when a normal English guy is going for the job now, I'm like, £12 an hour, my son gets more than that for a paper round. You know what I mean? Like, so they're bringing down like, if you go into all the jobs that kids used to get when they leave school, the McDonald's, the KFCs, all these type of jobs that kids used to get, is grown ass men.
It's wild.
You know what I mean? So a lot of the jobs have been taken. So I get that. And the next argument that they have, where I agree with them, because I don't agree with everything that, like, even Tommy was saying some real stuff. Like, anyone can say anything real. You understand?
They have to say a lot of real stuff. Reform, Tommy. Otherwise, you know, it's just the core is fucked.
Like Tommy was saying the other day, what was he saying again? Like, it slipped my mind now. But basically what I'm saying is I understand certain things about them. Oh yeah, like men coming here without women and children.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't. So me as a man,
weapons.
I'm gonna leave my country that's war torn and leave my wife and my kids there.
Huh? It's total infiltration on purpose. It's for similar what you're saying here. I experienced it in the modeling industry. So I was a catwalk model for 10 years, kind of at the height of my game, to be honest. And then I was there when like the Instagram model started taking over. And so there'll be an Instagram model that hasn't got the portfolio I have or the history, but is willing to be the face of JD Sports for 50 quid. Where they would pay me 7 bags a day. And he might even have more followers on Instagram than me though. So it's actually about cheaper and if you got more Instagram followers. So I was like having like 5'5" guys, no disrespect to height, but in the modeling industry, when you're a catwalk model, we're high, yeah? So those people much shorter than me get in the campaign and had acne and all these kind of things, which is fine, but I was shocked. I was like, what's happening here? And it was like, because they simply had 1 million followers, or they was on Love Island, or they were on X on the Beach or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So like, and they were willing to take the job for so much cheaper than a classic portfolio model. So it was like that kind of like disruption that we experienced. And in immigration, of course, it's happening majorly, for sure.
Like what the government's doing now, you got to think they're like, there was the next thing, London, more than 50% of council houses are to immigrants. And
it's not more than that now, even. It's crazy.
Probably more, they're just saying that. That's a nice number, 50%. You can't get too mad about that kind of thing. But to me, it's like a lot of people will like burn out council houses and say, oh, you're in a council. But where I live, which is a council house, there's people that bought their house in there as well. And there's prevalent people in there, middle class. There's other people in my block as well. So you got to think, for someone that's born here, to get a council house where you're going to pay twice as less as renting is a big thing. You understand? So if half of that, like I know people that's on the housing list for years, can't get a place. But don't just come over within 2 weeks. Like I know my neighbours, they was here for 2 weeks and got a 3-bedroom house. You see what I'm saying? That's, but how can you not look after your own first?
Well, even me, I'm sofa surfing, 31 years old. I've just come back to help my family. Like I said, I've got the land and off grid, and there were absolutely no. I don't want support. I haven't asked for support, but because I know there's no support, I don't even bother. And I don't really want to take that support. But it's like there's nothing like for young men even of this country, you know. And obviously, like we should help the world, of course, but I'm here to call out the bullshit. They've opened up the gates, what do you call it? The gates, the harbour, whatever. They've opened it up.
Borders,
the borders, that's the one. They've opened up the borders on purpose to infiltrate us, I think it's like, the stats are crazy. For like every Christian child, there's like 5 or 6 Muslim children being born now, And again, it's not about you're Muslim, don't be here. It's just about our country's gone. Say no more, I guess. It's just like being confident enough to say it. You know what I mean?
And it's like, you got to think, like, say like with all the wars going on now, and they say they ain't got no money for us, but then how much have they gave to Ukraine, which is a proxy war, I think they call it.
Yeah.
It's
an insult how much they've given to Ukraine.
It's an insult, and it's like, what are they giving back to us? But I think the Labour government announced they've gone on a big spending spree, so they say now. You know what I mean? They're putting more into NHS
and the weapon and defence as well.
And defence, yeah. And they're saying that they want to teach kids in school about military and
anal sex as well. Just to chuck that in there.
And that as well, you know what I mean? So what do you think about that, teaching kids about the army from school? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a wild thing. Like, we should be developing. Like, humanity should be developing. You're teaching children about army. Like, that's like we're talking about age of Pisces. Like that's the last 2,000 years, man. Like, war, death, man, alpha male. We should be teaching children how to grow allotments and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what do I think about children being taught that stuff? This isn't Russia. You can turn my one off actually, bro, as well. This isn't Russia. This isn't China. And they're clearly just trying to prepare as many people. Do you know, this is fun fact, yeah? This is how when we go to war with Russia, because remember, like, we're gonna lose this war by design. Yeah, we have to lose this war because they want to bring about like a Chinese Communist Party to the whole world. So we're gonna go to war with China, lose, and then China just does what they want for the planet. That's the plan, the New World Order plan. Russia have millions of troops right now, active and ready. We have like 100,000. It's a joke, but and we rely on NATO. We don't have our own kind of, our things clap, so we rely on NATO, and all it takes is NATO to implode and we're absolutely gone. Like, imagine we are the empire that has run this world for so long, and now the whole world's looking at us like we recognize that you're evil and we're just going to implode. And
like people keep saying England's just an island. Like, what do you think about that? Because say like my own thing, like with slavery up to now, like England having so much power and it's such a tiny place. It must have something to do with the divine, like
witchcraft.
You know, like, witchcraft. Yeah. You know, like what the Hebrew Israelites say, like the reason why we're being punished because we turned our back on God. Like, to me, I don't know. Internally, it sounds like there's a little sense in there. Because nothing else makes sense why this little island has so much. And you know, like our black people, like, we're the strongest, we're this, we're that, we're so intelligent. So how did this little island control so much of us, from Asia to Africa, all around the world? You know what I mean? The only sense could be in it is a divine, even if they got witchcraft. We got voodoo, we got voodoo, we got, you understand? So their thing's so much stronger than ours, or was they put in place?
Do you know about the Nephilim, that kind of stuff?
Slightly,
Like, I would say that the people that run the United Kingdom and therefore run the whole planet to some extent, they've got help from different dimensions. It's not just human. You know, it's like Nephilim. It's going back to like the fallen angels. Whether people want to call it reptilian, draconian, they've got some kind of connection. You know, like the Queen of England. She had an astrologer called John Dee. Yeah, and he would basically inform the Queen when to do certain rituals on the whole of the UK, so that, like, there's mass rituals happening all the time. We don't even realize we take part in it, and it contributes towards empowering the UK, whatever they're doing. We've just come to the end of that now, and our power is gone. I actually think that the Nephilim have left us, and it's like, I don't like being in England right now. Let's just say that. That's why I moved to Portugal. You know, it's where you're at in central London. Can you just imagine just a blackout for 4 hours? How much it would be mad? 4 hours only, let alone.
Do you know what? Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 with the blackout thing, because I think they don't want the internet to go down. Let me tell you why. Because if the internet comes down, we will come together. That's what they're scared. Why do you think it ain't happening in England, this blackout thing all across? They'll do little segments like North London might have a blackout for here. But if the whole internet comes down, you're going to see humanity does what it does, come together to an extent.
That's my only hope. And that's what, No, for real. It's like some kind of like sense of community is going to gather us together, you know, and like community leaders will step up. Yeah. You know, do you know a lot of people in your community? Have you been like, are you known in your community?
Yeah, I'm known. I'm not kind of known. Yeah.
Okay, good. So like, you know, people will be leaning on you as a king and as a man to do your role as a man in these moments. Yeah. You know, that's why they're trying to demasculate all men so that we don't know what to do. It's like, you know, I'm going to be on some warrior shit for sure. But I like that idea that maybe that's why they're not doing it all at one go right now, because actually they're scared. What if it goes the wrong way and we all completely unite and we're forced to?
I think that's what's stopping the human race is because, as I keep on saying, I say this a lot, like social media is a median in between us, blocking us from communicating really. Because sometimes, say like I've had arguments with people online, then I see them in real life. It's love. But because something's mediating our social life. So say like me and you have an argument online, the next minute they'll put something online on my timeline that agrees with me, that makes me, that caters to my ego, that infuriates.
An echo chamber.
So it's like, I think that has been the biggest distraction to humanity. It's got, obviously online's got its pros and its cons, but I think the cons is outweighing the pros in the sense of, like, if you go back and look at old school parties, there was no phones. Everyone was present. I was watching an old school thing the other day, and I've never really clocked the presence of humans like I did the other day. I just was watching this video. I was like, everyone's present there. Like, you can't be present if you're always like on your phone recording every moment in a club. You're in the phone. That's a whole. This is a whole next universe. This is a whole next
crazy
paradigm. You know what I mean, bruv? So I think that if all of us come present, and some people, I think some people say like me and you and other people that think alike, like-minded people, we're kind of like in both worlds. We can do it, but not everyone can do both. Not everyone can. Some people are just in this world. You know what I mean? And some people are more present. Like, big up my cousin Omar. Like, he's doing a detox of the internet and that. And I've been feeling like I need that as well. You know what I mean? Even though I've been so urged to it because of my blog and that, but I'm like, it feels like this is a time and celibacy. A lot of man them I know, like Gellum, think like man them are just on this beating thing. A lot of man them I know are like, bruv, I don't even want to beat nothing at the moment. I just want to be celibate.
It's a great stage to be.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a shift going on with the, like, man them are noticing that, like, the importance of energy and giving it out unnecessarily. You know what I mean? Because I've had enough tum-tum in my life to last, you know what I mean, bro? Not on a boasting thing. I'm actually disgusted that I had that mindset growing up. But that was because of the programming of being a Jamaican or half Jamaican, you know what I mean? The programming of dancehall, like you have to have North Carolina, all them things there.
It's programming as well, isn't it?
It's programming. That's why I'm so glad the way I grew up my son to make him know, bruv, that the clapping out bare girls, you're just gonna clap out your life force. You know what I mean?
Literally, I agree.
What I mean? So for me to clap something now is
and now even
phenomenal.
when it comes to sex, to me it has to be sacred and tantric, and it doesn't mean you have to be my girlfriend, but there has to be some basis of love there, at some kind of deeper respect for the person. It's too sensual, too much eye contact to be doing it with some ting on Tinder. Like, I ain't trying to let you have that's part of my soul. And also just like since 2020, all the medicine that everyone was forced to take by the government, you know, that I didn't take, like, it's just like now having to ask every single person, like, what's your health status? Because I don't want no spike protein sex. Do you know what I mean? And so it's changed the game completely. It's changed the game.
I think that had a lot to do with it as well. You know, the lockdown, the social distancing. I think people, even though I didn't take none of that, and I was out there for all the protests and that, it kind of made me see things for what it is. Like when I go raving now, I feel like I'm just watching it. I don't feel present. I just feel like everyone's escaping because I don't drink that much. You understand? Like, not on a boasting thing. Alcohol, this year, any other substance just don't agree with me. I don't know why. You know what I mean? It just fucks with my mental. So I'm just like, I had to cut it out. But when I'm at these places now, I feel so distant from it, and everyone just looks so lost in it. So it's like I don't even want to go. Like, people say, come here, come there. They don't understand why I don't want to go, because I'm I'd rather go to an open mic or a talent show, or some form of creativity has to be on display. Apart from intoxicated humans, you know what I mean? But like I said, if smoking agrees with you, I envy you. I miss a spliff. It's not me. It's just saying what aligns with me at the moment. You know what I mean? But it's just like, everyone's just trying to escape. It's just, I think after lockdown, like, big up Lou, my co-host for Mixed Set, and she said it as well. Like, everyone's just so happy for the little things that the government gives. You know what I mean? You say, like, you see how they weaned us back into reality. Like, oh, remember the meal deal thing they was doing? If you go out, you spend £9, you get a free meal.
Or a donut, wasn't it, like crispy? Like, but it shows you, unfortunately, how pathetic humanity is. Like how weak and broken that we are. That people are taking a vaccine so that you could get a Starbucks or whatever it was. It's a joke, man.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about like they had this meal deal thing, like in all restaurants to get you back into.
Oh, that was when there's like the eat out to. It was like £10 they gave you towards every meal, something like that. Yeah. I was banging that. Yeah, I was. And also like, I was banging that.
Big up, was it? That was Rishi Sunak, I think.
I think it was. Yeah, and his satanic self. But yeah, exactly. So there's been so much, and this is the thing, bro. This is why it's super significant. 2020 was all a program for what's about to happen.
Yeah,
which is genuine war. That was all a program so that they can get us ready, so that we're ready for basically like preparing us for FEMA camps. You know about FEMA camps, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And research a FEMA camp, if you don't know what that is, that was all preparation. So this is the thing. This is why I'm quite strict and blunt and call it for what it is. If people can't even survive that, or they're still traumatized over 2020, you're gone for what's about to happen. You know, I had an aunt. She passed away just before it all happened. I'm so grateful she passed away, because like if you're super weak and fragile right now, you're gonna be holding people back. Yeah, like, it's like I don't know what the answer is. I'm not saying we should like leave our weak and fragile people, but for me and my family, I'm happy my aunt passed now then, because what's about to happen, I can't have someone all like this in a wheelchair. You know what I mean? Or if there is like blackouts and she can't get her medicine, this woman had survived on just Babylon's medicine. So it's Nostradamus calls this the turbulent times. You know, the Jehovah's Witnesses will call this no doubt the 7 years of tribulation or something like that.
Do you think it's like a false revelation? Like, in a sense, it's like they're creating it because they know that most of us are from like Abrahamic religions. So they're pushing these things to make it seem like we're in the end times to keep us in the state of fear to a degree.
Yeah, totally.
You see what I'm saying? I think like, say like Trump, like someone saying Trump represents the trumpets. You know, like in the Bible, and the 7 trumpets.
It's very biblical. Yeah.
It's like I'm 50-50 on it as well with like, because if we feel like this is the end times, for instance, what was our ancestors feeling in slavery?
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? The comparison, because like I think they're forcing it on us to make us stay in a state of fear. 100%. But I think once we turn on the light switch, like Marcus Garvey said, it can be done in 24 hours. You know what I mean? We can overthrow what's going on. Not to say in a violent, chaotic way, in just us coming together as a one, as a unity, like could dismantle this whole thing. Because like I said, like White Britain, they're trying to start this race war. Do you remember that race thing that happened was it last year? When everyone came out, when Tommy and that were going into bare different ends, and then everyone came out.
Isn't it over Axel, the boy? That was the
yeah.
So he stabbed the 3 white girls, Taylor Swift.
Like that was so fake, bruv. Like I was telling people, don't come out your yard.
No,
because these people ain't a threat. You know what I mean? This ain't like the whole of Britain. This is a couple pub geezers. If you saw the people that they arrested, they all look like mitties. You understand?
Yeah. No, that's true.
This weren't like the affluent, young, English, strong dons. This was just some
clapped out people.
Crisis actors.
Yeah.
Here's £50. Go out there, mate.
But you know what? It did spark though. It was enough though to spark genuine racists to come out. So one of my homes is in Margate. Okay. And Margate is one of the most racist areas in the United Kingdom. It's where like UKIP do all of their marches. Not UKIP, the National Front. It's all like Reform UK and UKIP. Yeah, and I didn't know this until I got a job and I was asked if I could be called a chocolate orange by a white man. I was like, raw. And then it all started from there. I realized how racist Margate is. Yeah, it's crazy. I was working in a building site and I had to wear orange high-vis and it was all white man. I'm the only black guy on site and he said, can we all call you the chocolate orange? And I've never in my life had racism really happen to me. I'm very lucky. Actually, as a model, people were paying me for being black and mixed race or whatever it was. So I've never really experienced racism, if I'm honest. And then that was like a major shock. And then it all really got quite dark. But the reason I'm saying this, why was I bringing up Margate, is
most racist town.
Yeah, most racist town.
Chocolate orange.
I forgot. Okay. It'll come back.
Yeah, so like say like what's going on in London with the job market as well, like AI taking all the jobs and all of that. Say like even Uber, they're gonna have driverless taxis on the road by next year.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Deliveroo is doing tests in California of drones delivering food. And the reason why I bring up these two companies, because Uber, the driver thing, a lot of men rely on that. Like that's a big force of employment. You know what I mean? So they're taking that away, and they're taking away the delivery side. That's a big force of employment as well. But at the same time, the government's telling us to get jobs. But Keir Starmer said he wants to be the leader of AI in the whole world. You know what I mean? And I just think, where do you think this whole AI thing's going? Because if you've seen these videos lately with all these monkeys and that, the Google VO3.
Oh yeah, they're making these movies.
And they're totally like, I'm a prompt. I'm inside this. I'm not real. But when we get out of this prompt, we're gonna take over.
Yeah.
Like it's like what
that will hit. I think that's gonna hit the porn industry first, majorly. Can you imagine like an episode of Friends, which is HD, completely real, but like Monica's sucking off Chandler's dick or some shit? Like, it's like right in front of your face, real. Like, people pay for that. Like, when it comes to technology, it always hits porn first. But okay, AI, what do I think of it?
No, you're right. Let me just, on that point there, because the internet was actually funded off of porn. XXX.
Yeah.
That was basically what funded the whole birth of the internet, was porn.
Wow.
So you're actually right in that sense of, I wasn't even thinking about porn in this AI department. But
that's going to take off majorly, you know, for sure. And I know like it was the difference between, like, I think like a Betamax or like a VHS or a DVD or Blu-ray. They decided what way to go on porn. Like who was buying, like, was people buying Blu-ray DVDs or normal DVDs? So like the technology has changed because of porn users. But anyway, AI, I would suggest that it's like the blockchain. It's not really benevolent or malevolent. It's just technology, but it depends on who's controlling it at the top. So right now, it's all like ChatGPT. All of this to me is satanic. I use it every day, but the agenda, it isn't for world peace. It's to control us and to gain as much information. A lot of people are saying like ChatGPT is like the return of Christ. I'm like, are you that broken and clapped? Like it's unreal. And I use it all the time, but for like sending an email to a lawyer, you know, something like that, smash it out the park. But when I'm asking ChatGPT to analyze my dreams for me and like go to the Akashic records and it's not for me at all. I think AI could help us to become free. You know, all jobs, paying, like we shouldn't be doing any of them. You know, people say, oh, what about our jobs? Well, we shouldn't actually have jobs. We should be at a point where we're all creative beings, and you know what I mean? I know that feels so far away from the truth of where we're at, but that's like where it should be. So AI should be doing all of the mundane things while we're free to be tribal people.
Intelligence.
Yes, exactly.
That's what O called it as well. I got that from O. I like to big up people when I get them. Look, assisted intelligence. I never saw it as that. Like, it's something to assist us in the golden era, so we have more time for spirituality. We have more time for.
That's the perfect thing you could ever. You said it much better than I could.
Yeah. For meditating. All the good stuff. So, but my thing is that everyone becoming an entrepreneur, everyone having their own business. So then, who's going to be the consumers? If you see what I'm saying.
If everyone's only entrepreneurs, well, I guess we'd be consumers of each other's things and stuff like that to some extent.
True.
You know, I think how AI is moving, and that's another thing. After everything we just spoke about, the developments in the world, under all of this, AI is rapidly changing every single day. To, like you said, the point where I saw a meme on Instagram yesterday. It said, your grandma's going to be pissed if she watches the news. I don't know if you saw it. And it was just this woman in like a flood going, oh my God, there's a flood and I'm not real. And a shark just comes like around her. And it was like, just like a mystical scene happens. But it was so realistic, you know? Like, we have to be ready for someone to like drop a video of me and you and saying, oh, you was touching these children, we got videos of it. Like, that's a very clear way they're going to try and like destroy community leaders through like false propaganda in AI.
Yeah, it's going to be so easy.
So easy. And even if it's proven months afterwards, it wasn't you, you've proven it. Once it's scarred in your brain, it's like the Michael Jackson thing. Like, he'll always be associated with the pedo thing, regardless if he was or not.
And imagine that was back then without this technology. So imagine they could have a video of you with a local girl on your lap.
And also with everything with P. Diddy, who's going to know what's real? Because once all the stuff comes out, who's going to know what was real or what's not? Now, you know, because like the disclosure's coming, but it's coming at a time where we don't know anything is real or not anymore.
Yeah. Like, that whole P. Diddy thing, because you got the P. Diddy thing, the Remy and Papoose, the Chris Brown, they're throwing it all at us at the same time. It's just such a distraction.
Massively.
Like, you know what I mean? I hate people say, oh, a distraction from what? A distraction from what? I think it's a distraction from what's coming with. People can't spasm what's coming with AI. Like, in the sense of Google just announced that they've got access to parallel universes through their new,
especially if they're working with CERN. You know, if you know about CERN in Switzerland.
CERN, and they're supposed to speed up CERN recently. Was it in April as well?
They restarted it again. You know, there's two things you need to be concentrating on. You said, what are they distracting us from? They're distracting us from CERN. Like, that's one of the most significant things that's happening in the cosmos, one of the most dangerous things for all life. CERN, you know, they're smashing particles into each other under Switzerland in pipes and trying to like create vortexes and parallel universes. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is the 5 red heifers in Jerusalem and what they're trying to build the last mountain. I don't know if you know about the prophecy. Is that, will it be like the Jews or the Muslims who will build the last temple? And they started building it.
Okay.
But that means they're going to have to destroy Muslim land and like they're going to have to knock down a Muslim mosque, which, as we know, they're never going to allow that to happen. So this is actively happening. And they're going to do a massive sacrifice of red heifers. Red heifers are these cows that are like supposed to be like, when they find them, it means the prophecy's about to happen. And they found them in Texas, flew them to Jerusalem, and they're going to slaughter them soon. Because you can't build the temple without putting it in the ashes of like the sacrificed heifer or some majorly satanic ritual. So these two things, what are you distracting? Is CERN and Jerusalem, in my opinion, and everything else is around that. The 5G towers, Elon Musk, Church of Satan, that's all CERN. And then like the war, Africa, all of that is also to do with the Jerusalem and that final temple. And there's obviously a million other things happening on the planet, but I would say they're the two major things.
So, like, what do you think, what's, you already kind of said it, but like, I was going to get into like Elon, like him having power in the White House and all these things, and Trump, like they're both like proper, like you couldn't have bigger puppets in the sense of like,
it's all a game.
The personalities and stuff that's in power right now. You know what I mean? Even Keir Starmer, like he just makes my skin crawl. Even though people say, get rid of him, to bring in who? That's
yeah. Keir Starmer's nasty. He's part of the Fabian Society. If you research the Fabian Society, it's like a kind of like another like Freemason thing. And he fully tried to defend Jimmy Savile and he also tried to stop. I don't know if you know about the Hampstead Heath. They call it the Hampstead Heath hoax, about the 2 children that started speaking about all the abuse that was happening to them in school.
Oh yeah,
but it blew up. Like I don't even know how it's like some higher power allowed that to stay on YouTube for years. I don't know how.
The boy and the girl, innit? And
they were brothers, but it was mad what they were saying. You know, like their high school teachers raping them with like body parts all on her, and it's mad shit.
And my thing was about that. People saying it's fake. I was thinking, how did these kids make that up?
I've like, you know, 10 actors, and you know, they did 3 interviews. Each interview was 3 hours long. Like that's a long 9 hours of keeping up an act. You know, and even if it was a distraction, whatever. But anyway, Keir Starmer was trying to like stop the world from knowing about that. Wow. So like the current leader of our sovereign land is a paedophile protector. Nastiness. This is why it's spun Babylon in all ways. You know, in every way concerned. One
thing that because I used to be on a radio station called Galaxy FM, Galaxy for We. And what the elders used to say on there, they said, Babylon can't fall. Because if Babylon falls, it's going to fall on us. So we got to basically create the scaffold around it before it falls. Because if it falls, they're not going to they're not going to go out without a fight. You see what I'm saying? They're not going to go out without running into their bunker, pressing that button and making everything a mad thing. You know what I mean? Because what I can't spasm me, I don't know it's because I'm Aquarius or because of whatever. Like I can't spasm how in 2025 we're still talking about war and we can't come to agreements about things. Because there's abundance in the world. There's no reason to fight over land and all these foolishness. You know what I mean?
There's also not 6 billion people on the world. There's about 1 billion. It's a lie. The whole population thing. Chucking us in cities. I was watching a video last night that proves it. I can send you the link later. But it's about only 1 billion, 2 billion max on the planet.
That's crazy because the other day scientists came out and said there's not 7 billion, there's over 13 billion.
Scientists.
Yeah.
They try to switch it the opposite way. Wild. Yeah. Think about it like this. All right, cool. If I get a train, from here to Wales, that's 5 hours maybe, something like that. Or no, let's say Scotland, cool. 5 hours on the train, For hours, I'm looking out, I'm just seeing fields.
Yeah.
What? But they're saying we're overpopulated. It's only because they've moved us. They did it in the Tudor times. They moved us all into cities because then we're easier to control and easier to spread viruses and like ideologies when we're all compact in. While the whole, like, it's like all of this is empty, but this is the UK that everyone's here in London. Do you know what I mean? I've always thought that from young as well. Like, how does all of this land? And obviously, they haven't like built the underground infrastructure or whatever, but it's done by design.
Because you're driving for miles, and it's not like the land you're passing by. You're seeing sheep and cows and all these things. It's just grass.
Yeah.
For miles and miles.
You could build complete. You know, if you can build Dubai, which is a complete constructed island. You can build homes on the earth in the UK. You know, and there's already been like, if there was like 7 billion people, you could fit them all in Texas. I don't know if you've ever heard that. The whole of the state of Texas, you could put all 8 billion people in. So the whole idea that there's too many humans, and it's so that they can get more money when they're lobbying, so that they can get more money for their funding, because they've got so many humans, we need more money.
It's a depopulation agenda, isn't it? The depopulation.
It's a depopulation agenda, but there's nothing to there's enough of us. There's not enough of us anyway, sorry. Actually, we're in decline. They're doing it on purpose. They don't want life to flourish. So in China, you can only have 1 or 2 children. You know, they're doing it on purpose to stop us from flourishing.
So don't you think it's interesting that Donald Trump and Elon is saying that white people need to breed more? Yeah, we need more babies. We need more babies because...
I haven't heard that. Elon Musk is saying that, is he?
Yeah, they're both saying, Elon Musk and Trump is both saying that we need more babies. And they're the only like presidents or officials or whatever. People saying of power saying that in the last couple of years. And they're saying it about white people because the white people is declining and all of this
It's the minorities
stuff.
now.
And I think even if you look at when I was younger, when I was a teenager, there was a lot of teenage pregnancy. That's like most young people just want to be in the gym now. It's very like everything's very self. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the nuclear family isn't that important. Feminism helped with that, you know, making women believe that they're like to be super powerful and at the top of the chain, which again, man, it's like if you do what you want, but the whole that's in my opinion, it's done on purpose to fuck up the nuclear family. Yeah. You know, so that men feel it's okay to become super softer and like more passive, and women can go out and like put a suit on. And again, it's not about like individual people do what you want, but like I'm the more that the world gets difficult, I don't know about you, the more that the world is getting difficult to navigate, the more I'm falling back in traditional things. Man and woman, gal and man, the union, tantra. That like your role is to protect me as the man and the king and the warrior as I go out there, but you're my portal, you're the spiritual, you're the feelings, the emotions. You lead me and I go out. I'm the weapon. She's like pulling back the bow. That, you know, these kind of ideology for man and woman in union. And I'm just like, you know, I'm hitting anyone do what you want, but that's what I'm searching in my gal and my women. Anyone I'm with, like that kind of like protect me, keep the king strong, and I'll go out and fight Babylon. You know, and they're trying to destroy that. Most men don't even know who they are now. They don't even know their sexuality. Most children I know, or like all the children that are in my family, they're all sexually confused, all of them.
Okay.
And I think it's done by agenda, LGBT, you know, the tap water that they're drinking, the amount of estrogen in dairy. There's like, we just do not know ourselves. We don't even know ourselves as people, let alone our genders.
I think it's a thing of too much options. Like, say like online gives women what they, because I think they talk, because once you control the women, you control the man and vice versa. But I think they gave women too much options now. So women have always had bare options. And like, but once a woman's online, like her options are through the roof. This is why I know so much pretty girl, my age, you know what I mean? I'm 39, between 35 and up, that are single. Because they're just confused with the options. They'll get this guy. No, it's like they're scrolling through men. Scrolling to the next man. Nah, he don't have this. He don't have a 6-pack. He don't have this. He's not tall enough. He's not, you know what I mean? He's not on 6 figures. I call it, was it the 6-pack, the 6 figures and 6 foot, the 666 syndrome?
I got 2 of them.
You know what I mean?
I just don't have the 6 figures.
You know what I mean? They want, but even when they get that, they're like, oh, this is too much. You know what I mean? I want a short guy now. Big up the short dons as well. You get me?
Yeah.
Like they just can't make their decision because women ain't supposed to have so much options.
People, even humanity
as a whole.
It's not even women. It's like,
it's
unfathomable. Going through gal and just quick. And again, it's just everything's transient, quick. They don't want us to like grow roots with someone. You know, the idea of like me and one person and she's like my queen, like that feeling is deeper than just being able to have like 5-6 gal that I've got in a club. You know, I can do that easy. You know, that's a model thing. It's basic. Having a lover.
That's what destroyed us as well. What, a man having one partner, should a man have multiple partners in a way? because that helps build a tribe and build a village. So say like you go
This is
off
gonna
grid
get interesting.
now, and you got 3 wives off grid. Now you could build a whole universe.
Yeah. All right, so I have done for the last 5-6 years entertain the idea of polygamy. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm completely convinced, and it's been hard on 1 or 2 of the partners that I've been with who've accepted it, and then when I've gone and done it, it's been hard for them. Yeah. But again, many people know that disagree, but like the man, he plants seeds, like you said, in the tribe, and the woman nurtures down that one seed and creates the family. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying you become like a spiritual fuckboy, but I'm saying for men specifically, we need to have the confidence to, at least with our partners, if you are in a partner, you got a baby mum, but you're having these feelings, to at least have the confidence to speak up about these feelings. Don't try and repress it, or not act on it like be like, yo, baby, I'm gonna be honest, I've got this mad connection with my yoga teacher, and like I want to explore it. Like, you're my queen, I love you, I promise you. If anything changes, I'll tell you that. But like, I just want to explore this. And if I don't, I know me, I'm coming from my Jamaican ancestry and the way my father and every man has acted, I'll cheat on you. I'm not that I would want to cheat, but it's in my DNA. Yeah.
I've got something to add to that.
No, please add to it, bro.
See that, with Jamaicans, wanting to breed a lot. I hate using the word breed, but I'm just using it so people someone saying
breed.
Say like in slavery, when there was certain men that was made as breeders and they used
DNA,
to kill our
bro.
children and all this stuff. Do you think that the way we act is because of the brutality
Trauma.
of slavery? And you got to think, if an animal's dying out, being endangered, what are they gonna do? They're gonna want to breed more. So this is why Jamaicans are just everywhere. You know what I mean? Because it's in our DNA to think, hold on, we was attacked for so long that we got to mass produce us. You see what I'm saying?
And it's also in our DNA to leave our children. Because
interesting.
It's like our children were just taken from us. And so it was like we also had to like almost like be like stoic and like just be able to cut off, because someone you love, she's just been raped and killed. Imagine like the amount of death you would have had to have seen. And again, I'm not at all saying that this is to justify being an adultery or like like cheating on your girl. No, I'm not saying that. But
we're not talking about cheating.
No.
Like you said, confirm with your missus that, oh, I fell in love with my yoga teacher or whatever, my gym instructor or whatever.
Or met someone at a rave or whatever it is, but just having what we just deserve with ourselves and our partners to have that conversation. It might be awful. She might feel, what's wrong with me? It'd be like, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, you can't give me more. But I'm just saying there's other parts of me that and I just know that I'll feel unsatisfied unless I at least explore that. And if she can't hold that, then maybe she's not supposed to be with you. Because I'll tell you now, I just want to be free. Always, at all times. And actually, when I've been with partners that have allowed me to do things with other people, I've never even acted on it. But because they gave me the freedom, I can then breathe. But as soon as it's like, you're my partner, here's a ring on it, you're my boyfriend, girlfriend, I'm like, And instantly, from the day you're my girlfriend, it dies. From that day, it starts to die. And it's not because you're not the most amazing woman or you couldn't have been my baby mother. I think there's something's wrong with the idea of relationships and that's why I'm like, the idea of polygamy or open relationships. It's like, even yesterday I was watching EastEnders, stupid thing, but Kat and Alfie Moon, it's their wedding day and he can't have sex with her because he's got prostate cancer. He can't get his ting up, And I was saying to my mum, like, instead of losing her, wouldn't you like just say you can have a relationship with another man who can fulfill that part of you, but like, it's still me and you forever, but I can't. But most people won't even do that,
But do you think a woman, I think that's interesting you say that. I watched it as well, by the way.
Well, that episode? Okay, good.
I think as a woman, can they take odd and not fall in love? You understand? Because I think something's been inserted into them, they take it deeper. A man can just cut. Just jump up the place. But a woman's laying there, taking odd, going inside her. She's like a tunnel.
We entered her. Do you have a partner now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Get me in trouble.
Yeah. I was like, what kind of questions? I was gonna. You don't have to put this in the edit. Can you love more than one woman at the same time?
I'll be honest. I spoke to my missus about this, and I think I can. But out of respect for her, I haven't.
Okay.
But I think I can. With still having her head of the table, because she done whatever she's done for me first.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the way I put love is like, it's different that like this woman is offering this type of energy that's going to bring this out of me. She's bringing this out of me. So I can place myself in different places because that's just how my mind works. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's ADHD or any of these titles, but I just think Aquarius, wind, I can be everywhere. But I've always thought that I can actually love a next woman and my missus at the same time. But I just think the way European girls, or Western girls, I should say, have been raised is to be jealous of that. So they won't be able to, she won't be able to spasm that. I still love you. I love her as well.
Like if I was in that position, where I have been, to be honest, in the past, I would want them to both meet. If it was getting to a point where they're uncomfortable, let them know there's no threat. You're both loving me, and I love you both. You know, and don't get me wrong. It's like, you know, it's not easy because we're the first ones in our bloodline to try and do it with wisdom and spirituality. Our forefathers and ancestors would have just been cheats and like, you know, fucking Jamaican guys, fucking bad women. But I'm trying to like bring in integrity to this and love. And you know, I don't have any children yet, and I can't imagine what it must feel like to be with like my baby mum. That's my dream, is to have a child with someone that's never had children and like we grow something. But I also know from the start, it needs to be set up so she knows. And we have to be as men, if I'm willing to allow them to explore as well, which is not as easy.
That's the cutoff point where you get me, where I couldn't. That's why I ain't gone forward, because you know, like she might say, yeah, that's cool. But then in 2 months' time, she'd be like, yeah, I slept with John or whatever.
John. Hopefully be a bit better than John. But yeah.
Or I slept with Jermaine. You know what I mean? Like that. And I'll be like, oh, shit, I don't know if I'll be able to handle that. So
it feels like a violation and all that shit, man.
I got to take accountability. In the sense of, if I feel like that, she must going to feel the same way. So I'm just as bad.
That's always been the hardest part.
Yeah.
For sure. But I admit that with myself, and I have to be willing to. You know, I can't be like, you're a woman, or like, it's like, no, we're both souls. So if you want to experience something with a man that you've met, you could have had a past life with him, and it's nothing to do with me. And like, I'm still the head of the table here. You know, and as long as I feel that man's never mocking me or feel like he's fucking my girl behind my back, it's actually respect. Like, I would have to be willing.
Got tribes that do that still. Like, Like they'll offer you their wife. You can sleep with my wife for the night. You know what I mean? And it's calm. They don't. I respect that they don't hold.
And I know myself, like these tribal, I know myself. There's no man's gonna give, it's not like I'm better, but I know myself and I would know my relationship with her. So whatever you're getting is something completely different, you know? So it's almost like, I haven't lived this out. I've lived it out from my side, but I haven't lived it out like a woman I deeply love wants to experience something with a man. It won't be easy, but I know myself enough and I'm good alone that I would have to allow that to happen.
That's interesting still. I'm not ready for that yet, baby.
It's hard. It's hard.
I'm not on polygamy or nothing. Get me? Like, no, not yet.
You sure? Yeah, I got some good sex parties. I'm joking.
I'm not that I think if I was gonna do that, it would have to be with a girl. I think 2 Western girls couldn't do it. I think a Western girl, and say like, I think my next attraction of women that I've been kind of drawn to is more like East African, Eritrean, those type of women there. I think that they've got a mentality where it won't seem as a threat because they seem so feminine. When I speak to them, they seem so like ladylike in the sense of the whole black spectrum. I think those women have a real like soft,
divine feminine essence,
divine energy.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I remember when I was with one and I was asking when I was younger and that, like
years ago.
Yeah, their thing's just different. You know what I mean? So that's.
Where's your missus from now? What's her culture?
She's Jamaican.
Okay.
And English. Cool. She's the same. She's not mixed. She's just Jamaican, like full.
And you're Jamaican?
Yeah, I'm Jamaican and English, so I'm mixed as well.
Okay.
I'm just dark. I'm just a darker mix. You know what I mean? Like my brother's like your complexion more.
Okay. What's your mixed race?
Yeah, I just came out.
Oh, you're a dark mixed race. Yeah. So one of your parents is fully white, British.
Like my mum's basically fully white. Like, but her dad's mixed race. But that,
okay. So you're like,
see, that's what people do. They're like, okay, that's why you're so black. But my brother and sister my brother's lighter than you.
Okay.
And my sister, and we got the same mum and dad.
Yeah.
And my sister, who I don't have the same mum and dad with my mum, she's like, she's your complexion, but my brother's lighter than you. I just came out darker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my mum looks like an Italian woman. She's proper white looking.
An Italian woman.
You know what I mean? Like my nan who lives in Portugal, she's proper English, like white English. I got a full white family, blue eyes, blonde, all of that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Bro?
But you're a perfect example of why like racism.
Big up mixed settings as well. I'd like to have you on there with Lou as well, because I think you and Lou would have a different conversation as well. That would be interesting.
So
you know what I mean? So big up mixed settings as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, what you just said shows why racism is really a joke. When there's some like white person calling you all the names under the sun, they don't even realize the whiteness in you, you know? Or like there's white people that would be so racist, but they don't realize like 5 generations back, like you have like a dark African grandma or something, you know? Like we're such a mixture of races at this point. It's just embarrassing that people are racist. I could give you a
perfect example. The police stopped me, and there was like a season I was getting stopped like 10. I got stopped like 10 times in 3 months. Because where I live, it's got the police headquarters for the for all the police vans and stuff. And then it's got Kennington Police there. Then it's got some next police thing. Then you got MI5 there. So I'm just, my house
You're in Babylon,
surrounded by feds. So I was just getting stopped.
And the frequencies around there must be intense, man.
It's intense.
5G.
So, but I clocked the tin, because them times there, allegedly, I had weed or whatever. I was dabbling or whatever. I was a bit roller. You know what I mean? I clocked, hold on. When I dress in bright colours, they don't stop me. So I'll never get stopped when I'm supposed to get stopped.
Wait, so you mean if you wore bright colours, they wouldn't stop you?
They'll never stop, man. If I'm wearing yellow, you're never going to get icy free male wearing a yellow t-shirt, just rub the phone. It's always dark colours. You know what I mean? So I have my bright jacket that I'll wear.
Rolling on with a high V on, bro.
Yeah, with a high V on or something. Like, I knew that. But the story was when I got stopped, and then they're stopping me, then my mum's coming, like my mum's there, they're looking over my mum's shoulder like, where's your mum? Because she's a little white lady looking So they're just baffled. Then when I said, that's my mum. Bro, if you saw their faces drop, wow. They're like, that's what I'm saying. That's why I find it funny when I go to like white place, or even my nan, my white nan, like, she was in the car, went to her car, the white woman's banging on the window, lock your window, because I'm walking towards the car. Yeah, me just
it's happened to me a few times, you know. My mum will be like, can you get something from out of my bag? And I'm getting something out of her bag, and then someone's grabbed me thinking I'm robbing my mum. You know, so it's crazy. Yeah. You know. Yeah. But can you blame them when you know, most white people, they're systematically trained and programmed to think we're thugs because of shows like Top Boy? And these false black leaders that keep on making stupid shows like this, that just keep on the narrative, you know.
Yeah, what do you think of like Top Boy?
They're all sellouts. Actually, Walt was told everyone to get the vaccine, and then suddenly he's got a massive ass mansion and house. I don't rate him in the slightest.
No, I gotta rate you, though. Do you know why? Yeah, because I've touched on that heavy. I even reposted that like 6 months ago when it was like he had a thing to his head. And he was sweating. He was like, my scientist friends have told me it's 100%. And I'm
my
like,
scientist friend.
Actually, you ain't even come out and said sorry, my brother. You should come out and say sorry to the community, because you was wrong to say that. You misguided how much young people that looked to you. And there was other celebrities as well. We could say the Idris, he was a big one.
Oh yeah, Idris Elba. I'd say it boldly on camera, Ashley Walters, you're a snake to the diaspora, to Africa, to black men, to young men. You're an absolute snake. You consistently create narratives around just black people being drug dealers. Yeah, where's the Shakespeare? Where's the creativity? Where's the Star Wars? It's always like in the hood. Yeah, you know that black boule, Freemason or something like that. And the amount of black people that would have trusted your word because we look up to you as an idol, as an actor, and as what we thought was a king. We look up to you, and you go and tell us all to take the snake oil. You're a sellout, and your ancestors are not walking with you, putting that out there publicly. No,
I see what you're saying still. I just think these people, like Piers Morgan, for instance, he was telling people to take it, but he stepped back and he apologized. So it's a mad thing to say, but I rate him for that. He didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
He actually done a public apology and like, you know what, I might have been wrong on this. So I don't understand why our leaders ain't done the same thing. You know what I mean? So that shows that that Pierce let go of the chains, sort of, even though he's still an idiot. You know what I mean? I'm not fully, but I respect his due where respect is due.
Yeah. Regardless if he's a psyop or not, at least he said that. Yeah. And like, can you imagine how embarrassing that's? And it's not even about embarrassment. It's a war crime. Yeah, it's a war crime. Yeah, you've publicly told people to take this weapon, which will come out as a war crime. So,
but I got an angle for you. Say like Ashley Waters, for instance, because I like to look at both sides of the coin. Imagine he was on the last series of Top Boy coming out, or the second series, but the last segment of the money coming, and it's like, yeah, like £4 million or whatever he's gonna get, whatever he got, and they're like, you have to say this, or we're not gonna let Top Boy come out. And these times he's already mortgaged the house. He's already moved his mum out. So do we have to take into consideration as conspiracy theorists of sometimes the responsibility that he had on his back for his family? Because if he didn't take that, his whole thing might have crushed. He might have been looking after his mum on dialysis.
I would have let the whole thing crush and walk with the Most High.
Fair enough.
Seriously, So, like for your own individual stuff, you're gonna let so many people die.
True.
On that, man, I'll start again, and I'll trust that the universe will let me start again. You know.
Yeah. Get the people on side and the universe. So you just think like Top Boy and about Supercell.
Is that the one with like the like 30-minute long episode where it's all just one scene?
No, that's Adolescence.
Adolescence, yeah. Again, major distraction, that one. And
Supercell was the one.
Supercell was also Supercell was mad. I was like, okay, I don't know if that was Ashley Walters as well.
No, that was Rapman.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Rapman. Again, once again, another black king is given an opportunity, and you're called Rapman.
Yeah,
it's a joke thing. Supercell, yeah. It's on. Okay, it was a bit more. It was a bit more like superhero-y.
Yeah.
But it's brothers selling drugs and ket and it's a joke thing. Where's the black entrepreneurs that are actually creating incredible like masterpieces of art? It's like, oh, we're gonna give you this. We're gonna give you another black guy a chance to make something on Netflix, but you can't break out the paradigm of being drug dealers. Even like you can be drug dealers with superheroes, but you still have to be drug dealers. It's a joke, yeah, and I'm disgusted at it. As a leader of the African and Caribbean heritage group in the United Kingdom, I'm disgusted at our black leaders, and also I'm disgusted at people not realizing it's not even the black, it's the people that are running this.
Yeah.
It's like, why are people like Heady One, Central C, all of these rappers, Stormzy, why are these people allowed to be like, who's controlling them? Who's paying for them to come out of prison? Who's funding them? It's the Jesuits, it's the Zionists. Drake, by the way, is a Zionist. You brought him up earlier. These people all have an agenda.
Yeah, and I think, with the Supercell thing, I think it was even a little more dangerous than Top Boy, because younger kids might have been drawn to it because of the superpowers.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
They're selling drugs. It was just.
But they got superpower. They can run off real fast and shit. Do you remember that? All these like.
Yeah, and people was going on like it was groundbreaking. It was just like.
People are so basic.
It was just like Lightning. What's his name? Lightning. What's that one in America? The Lightning guy.
Oh, Flash or something. Wait, I don't know. Is he a
superhero? The black guy, Lightning. I think he's called Lightning anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was.
Was he in Boys? The Boys on Amazon.
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But but basically that series was similar, but the only difference is the leader of it, the guy of it, there was drugs and stuff going on, but the main superhero, he was a head teacher. You know what I mean? And I thought that was it, but he was cleaning up the streets. So that was a more interesting dynamics. But I think like the thing with Top Boy and Supercell, because England's so small and knife crime is so poignant, to base it around that, it's just making youths think this is the only thing that gets recognized.
Yeah, it's weaponizing our trauma.
Yeah.
It's weaponizing our trauma.
And then you had Dig That in it, Diggity.
One of them, I remember seeing it. Yeah,
it was Diggity.
And he's like getting stanked in the neck and all this madness.
And I'm thinking.
And by the way, he's actively in prison again. So like, this is the thing. It's like, whoa, there's so many black youth that want to be actors. Why are you picking the ones that want to just come out of prison for serious crimes? It's a game. It's a sick game. Or
the rappers, like the rappers getting the acting roles about all them youths that went to the Brits.
Yeah. Bugsy Malone, all these, he's in some big Guy Ritchie films.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like all these actors, they use these rappers and that because they're easier to control when there's enough little young youths that have dedicated their life to acting that ain't getting these big roles. You understand? It's all the same people. It's like the soaps. It's like they swap soaps. They all go around on the same soaps. You know what I mean? Like, because they're easier to control. They don't too much new people.
But you call it, do you know about the Black Boule? That's what I would say. That Ashley Walters definitely, for sure. So Black Boule is like almost like a subsect of Freemasonry, but for black people only.
Okay.
But it's also run by the white people. But it's basically like the Oprah Winfreys, the Lenny Henrys, Idris Elba,
I think he admitted to being in that Mega Man. Said he was a Freemason.
Mega Man
from So Solid. He said that on Big Up Jedi, on Jedi Show. Jedi drawed him out about that. You know, online Jedi.
No, I don't know. Is he like a podcast person?
Yeah.
Okay,
like he kind of interviewed him, and man's not saying a conspiracy theory. Jedi asks him outright, "Are you Mason?" He said, "Yeah," and he's a Mason, and he's Muslim, so you can be a Mason and a Muslim at the same time. So Jedi was saying, "How does that work? How can you be a Mason?" And I thought that was he said it outright. At least he's standing on his business. You know what I mean?
Because
at
least he's honest.
To be fair, in the Windrush time, a lot
respect.
of our elders were Mason. A lot of the Windrush generation that came over were Masons as well. But I'm not sure if it's the same type of Masons that these guys are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where I need to do a bit more research.
Definitely, I would say from the Windrush, anything from like the 17th century is all satanic Masons. Like Freemasonry at the core was kind of benevolent. It was just about like building blocks and like, you know, like, but what it's turned into is totally about control and manipulation and like, so like these black stars, the Michael Jordans and stuff, like they put into these positions so that when something like COVID happens, that's the only moment, like, you know, we'll give you everything, but you have to do what we tell you when you know, you're not free, you're not truly an entrepreneur, you're not, you know, that's like, we'll give everything to Ashley Walters as long as you keep on hitting these, you know, knife crime, gang.
Yeah.
Don't start making a documentary about Dr. Sebi, Carl will kill you, like it did with Nipsey Hussle. You know, it's like, so it's...
Yeah, Nipsey, the whole Nipsey thing, because if you remember, his album was produced by Diddy.
Wow, was it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, his album that was big and that was produced by Diddy. I think that my thing with Nipsey is I think he was presented in a certain way, but I was all for him till I looked into him and I thought, but you kind of still glorify gang culture. He glorified gang culture. Whether you like, you always make an excuse. I don't make excuse for badness. I just think it's totally against our community. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't stand for nothing. This is why all these things are happening with our youth. Like in UK, say like drill music, I don't think it's done nothing for our community. It's taken away from our community. And because we see one, two man with money, we say, look, it's made people come up with these pathetic things like, oh, look, he's a millionaire. But how much people have passed away or in jail
or become drug dealers because they feel that's...
Or drug addicts.
Or addicts, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you go through Brixton now, bro, it's like, I'm scared. I don't like going through Brixton no more. Like,
that's Croydon for me. I can't like Brixton. Croydon's the one for me. Croydon's a social experiment. It's absolutely insane. Actually, I thought I was going to lose my life, genuinely, for the last 3 days. I got on a tram because I was going to Beckenham Junction, so I had to go through Croydon, 3 times in a row, someone sat next to me. There was like a 7-foot black guy, who would have, honestly, just from one swipe, would have like took me out. He was completely massive. And I think he's just come out of a mental hospital. So I think they're releasing people from mental hospitals early right now. And he was skits. He was like going, making all these mad sounds. And then he took out cotton buds with this liquid on and he started going and touching all of the handles and putting this liquid on all the handles. So I was like, bro, this is... You know, I drove last year and I haven't got a car this year and I fucking hate not driving because like being on the trains and stuff, it's so...
That's what I tell you, I lime, bro. If I ain't got my electric bike, I'm liming. Like, I try to avoid public transport as much as possible because every time I go on there's always some mad person next to me or...
Yeah.
You know?
I was at East Croydon Station, there was someone just defecating, like just straight out, like sitting, it wasn't even raining, with an umbrella, trousers down, just shitting on the middle of the street. I was like, this is, when you get to this stage, this is new level, you know? And I think they're doing something with the frequencies in Croydon. I'm not sure, but everywhere. To be honest,
Brixton. I think because you're more from Mitcham side, so you might feel more affected by Croydon. I'm born in Brixton. When I go Brixton, I just see bare old friends who's on this now. They're a part of the homeless, not even homelessness. I'll say the addiction. Mass zombies in Brixton and it's not just old people now, it's young people. This is what people ain't clocking, is young people that are turning mitties now. You know what I mean?
Drug is that, do you think?
It's either it's I don't know.
Because there's a load of new stuff like coming in that it's like, because like heroin's been around for decades, you know, and you know a heroin addict, some of these ain't heroin, someone is like a mad. In LA, have you seen the people like they're bent backwards like zombies shaking? It's like I don't even know how their spine hasn't snapped. They're like, they are like zombies. The spirit's gone. Ketamine is a drug people need to be aware of. You know, it's so dangerous. Ketamine, it like keeps you suspended between 2 different realms, and that's where you get all of the jinn, the entities like coming in. So all these people getting addicted to ketamine, you don't realize it's like being like you're like a walking Ouija board.
And I think a lot of the new weed as well, especially for young people. Imagine when I started smoking, it was high grade
immersion
weed,
stuff,
or Dutch. Dutch was like clean skunk compared to what's now. Like the loud packs that you're paying like £70 for like a 3-5 or whatever or more
flavors.
This is mind blowing. I'm talking about like you're like. But you got to imagine for a young child to be taking that, bruv. Like, like his first spliff is Flavors.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like the mental health of these young people as well. Because I used to have guidance, because obviously Jamaican household, mum bun, dad bun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so they will tell me certain things, like certain tricks of the trade, like, don't bun when you wake up. Try bun in the evening. Eat before you bun.
Yeah.
And like, so, but what's happening now, that's why a lot of the African brothers who hide it, and I think when you hide it, it adds to the psychosis of weed. So, because you're hiding it now, you got to hide it from your parents, put eye drops in to make your eyes look white and that. So it's making the mental health go up even more. You know what I mean? That's why when you look in the papers, a lot of the knife crime now, because Jamaicans, we always get blamed for it, but a lot of the knife crime and that is being committed by African people, African descendants now, first generation Africans, because people still like to throw this stigma on Jamaicans. But when I'm reading in the newspaper, I'm seeing Abdul, this guy, that guy. It's a lot of African brothers that's committing the knife crime as well. And it's not being highlighted because they hide behind this Jamaican thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The facade's coming to an end now, for sure. And we're going to soon see the knife, the knife crime will mostly be Middle Eastern people, and Middle Eastern and Eastern European, both mostly, will be what a lot of the violence will come out.
And it's men's mental health month.
Is it today?
This
week?
Month.
June, yeah.
Okay. So what's your opinion on men's mental health in this day and age? And what's a good mechanism to help with it, or a direction that you'll send someone in to help them with their mental health? Because I think it's gone up. I think there's a lot of more peer pressure on young people now. Because when we used to have a fight in the playground, it was just the classroom and the school. Now it's the whole world. We'll know. If you knock, you get knocked out on the floor. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think the peer pressure and mental health is spiraling out of control, and the peer pressure for grown men as well. I think grown men like 30 and up as well is much more intense than it was. Back in the day, you know what I mean? Because I think Windrush generation didn't even know what mental health was. They just need to work.
Well, they just had to push through it. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, actually, I hold men's circles. So that's, if anyone's interested, you find me on the Ascending Tribe Instagram page. We hold men's circles using Native American or Peruvian plant medicines as well to assist. But men need to be vulnerable first and foremost. And the easiest way to start is with your partner. Your partner is a divine reflection of you. And so, like, to be able to just be vulnerable with your partner, letting them know, like, I'm finding shit hard. If you're finding shit hard, like, it's designed for, like, the whole weight of the world to be on the man's shoulders. While also, but then you're right
there. Sorry to cut you quickly, because I don't want to forget. That's what I've come to realize, is that I'm not that way inclined with my partner. And that's just coming out of honesty, of like opening up and speaking to her. Because I think that, like, sometimes I think I got the mindset, if you show a woman a weakness, eventually they'll use it against you.
But would you think it's a weakness to be able to, like, I would say it's the opposite, it's strength, to be able to have that communication, you know? And I'd say, you know, whether she used it against you, has that happened to you in the past?
To a degree. Okay. To a degree.
So I guess for me, it's like, I'm the kind of person that I'll be on social media, I'll cry if I need to. Like, you know, like I think men need to be able to see other examples of men, because we've got these false leaders like the Ashley Walters and stuff. Yeah, like, who are we looking for? Like, who's in tune with their femininity? As soon, like, all right, I'll give you an example. So I had a man. My dream has always been, because I'm deeply in the spirit world and esoteric stuff, but my dream has always been to have a black man who's been in prison to come to one of my events and had to have a life, like a shift. And it happened. Last weekend, I had this incredible black king, father, nearly 50 years old, was in prison for 12 years. And we opened up the sharing circle where we all speak about why we're here, and he didn't really want to speak to no one, After the ceremony, and I won't explain what happened, it was private what happens at our ceremonies, but after the ceremony, there was a lady that was raped, sharing. He was holding her, and then he was like speaking to everyone. It's like he had a complete shift, and the feminine had re-entered him, because he's like, to be a man, to be a true man, you have to be balanced. You have to be emotionally open. You have to have the feminine flow in. If you're like locked off or don't want to share your vulnerabilities, you're actually not actually a true man. You know, like you need to be able to have that flow within you. So he left totally in tune, soft. He's been coming yoga with us. He's like doing like these mass meditations every night on YouTube. Like he's just basically like, seems like his whole energy is shifted. And he would say it, you know, it's because he saw me. I gave him the space to do it. So I was getting a massage, and he saw me getting a massage, and I allowed him. By me getting a massage, it was an intuitive tantric massage by another man. I don't like men touching me either. But I was like, let me just experience. It's nothing to do with sex. It's about sensuality, yeah? And this guy was just massaging my ankle, and I was like breathing deep. And this guy that had been in Penn, by seeing another black man doing something spiritual, it allowed him to do it too. Am I making sense? It gave him permission to also do it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you know, men's mental health, I would say, is so dangerous right now because of the imbalance of the feminine in it, you know? And like having the courage, man, just to be able to say to either your mum, your sisters, or your partners, like, this is too much for me right now. Have boundaries as well. I'm my mum's oldest son, so I have like the weight of the world on my shoulders times 2, it feels, because it's also, and I don't have my dad around, so it's like everything's on my shoulders, it feels.
Do you have a lot of siblings?
I just got one brother. He's younger than me.
Okay.
So again, it just feels like it's all on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And the more I share what I'm going through with either my lover or my mum or someone, the stronger I'm becoming, instead of just trying to be this alpha male and doing it all by myself.
Because it seizes up in you, man. When
you
hold stuff, like I'm learning this stuff now and in the last couple of years, I would say, but it definitely seizes up in you, and it can develop into other things when you hold these things in.
Yeah, dis-ease in your body.
Dis-ease, whether it's in the form of an actual dis-ease or just dis-ease, you know what I mean, in your way of thinking or your clarity. So I definitely agree with you, man, like in the sense of, and a lot of men are actually coming to that I know anyway, in my circles, are coming to realize these things about crying, opening up, just saying what's on your mind, you know what I mean? And I think, that's very important for the younger generation to get in from now, you know, because we've gone through what we've gone through. So your brother or nephew, whatever, you know what I mean? Younger people don't have to go through it. Yeah. They can see by example, you know what I mean? That's why, say like my oldest son, he's 19. That's why I've raised him not to have like the same stigmas I've had, even of police. Like I ain't trained him to hate the police. So he's never been stopped by police because he don't have that
the frequency in he's holding.
You see what I'm saying? Like I'm more rebellious. He's into politics.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He's studying politics and international relations.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So he could be a future leader. I'm like, that's good. Do your thing. So I've totally like de-brainwashed him. Like, and even playing music in my house. Like, if you ask my middle son Marley, who's your favorite artist, he's gonna say Bob Marley. He's not gonna say Digga D. He don't know none of that shit.
Wow.
Because I grew up in a house where my dad was a sound man, and we had everything playing.
Yeah.
All the, you know what I mean? All the mad stuff playing in our house. It didn't affect me because I don't know. I was always different. Like I said this in the last one on Mixed Settings as well. It was Caperton was one of the first artists that stuck to me. When I look back, I was 9 years old.
I love him so much. Yeah. I saw him last year live. Did you see him in Brixton?
No, I didn't see him. I didn't see him.
Yeah.
I was pissed I didn't see him as well. But yeah, he stood out to me the more, and I was young when that happened as well. So I'm like, so I thought in my house, I'm not making, I think what people understand, when you have children, don't make them be children that follow trends or celebrities. That mashes them up. Because then they fall into peer pressure, they fall into social anxiety. Oh, I gotta be this way, I gotta be that way. So that's one thing I totally took away from my children was the idol worship. Because I think that's mostly what had me on the road or doing stuff was, even though I was slightly woke or whatever, but I still had traces of it that I want to get out of my children was you don't need to follow the trend. You don't need to be the coolest boy in the class. You know what I mean? You don't need to put on a show to be the most popular child because like what I teach my son, you get the hard work out of the way now. By the time you're my age or by the time you're 25 or even or 30, you won't have to work so hard.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So it's honourable to have like a backstage position, if that makes sense. Like you don't have to be the Michael Jordan or the basketball player or the rapper that's famous. Like there's honourable jobs out there. Most of the inventions that we have nowadays are by black people, for instance. That we just don't know it because like they don't want us to know that the person that made like, I don't know, the traffic lights was a black man because they want us to look at Digga D. You know what I mean? So this is amazing what you've done to, you know. Give them the best chance, you know,
Yeah.
to deprogram all of the black trauma which they put on us.
Because even I saw everyone at DJ AG yesterday for Will Smith. I was just looking at it.
That
like,
was wild, man. And that's all the whole sellout. But yeah, go on.
yeah, why would you say
Will Smith.
Yeah,
he's nasty.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, these people are so...
He's a nasty...
Idol worship is mad. Even
Idol worship, yeah.
I love Fresh Prince. I don't care about...
So do I.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's because we're black men and we saw a black man on our TV.
Yeah.
And like, you know,
and it weren't
felt
guns
represented.
and drugs.
And
it was when programming was good programming. Like the Cosby Show was kind of good. You know what I mean? Because it was like, it weren't broke people. It was like affluent people, lawyers, judges. I'm not talking about you, Will Smith, as an individual. I'm talking about the show.
Yeah, like, you know, Mr. Banks, whatever his name is, so like rich black family, which was powerful and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like Uncle Phil, that was everyone's uncle. But
why did you bring him up yesterday? Because obviously I've seen this and I was thinking, what kind of ritual is this? This is a ritual for sure. Why is Will Smith in King's Cross right now? He should be in prison, by the way, for sure. He's a disgusting person that rapes people, homosexual, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with being homosexual, but allegedly. Well, no, you know his best friend Bao. He did a whole interview with Tanisha. I can't remember what her name is, but he's exposed everything. You know, and obviously we're not in the room there, but when you know the cabal, there's no way someone like Will Smith isn't Black Boule. There's no way you're that famous, that influential. Yeah, you know, all of them, they're all gone.
He looked kind of like a clone or something. He looked plastic when I saw him yesterday. He didn't look real, bro. I couldn't describe. I can't
imagine if he is real. I can't imagine what's going on in his head, because I was thinking this. It was like, it's all a game. He has to keep up this Will Smith game, because everything, like all of his stuff, is in court right now. I'm telling you, like what he's been doing with all these people.
He was on the Epstein Island list as well.
Jada Pinkett Smith, they're all skanks, yeah. They're all nasty occultists. They're occultists. He's a Scientologist, yeah. Will Smith as well. He did a song recently where he's like, "I am the God, I am the..." Yeah. People have like decoded that, and it's all satanic as hell, man. So when I saw that yesterday, I was like, okay, cool. So World War III is about to bang on June the 14th, yeah. Basically, what is happening with Will Smith now? What kind of ritual was it? And he's in there in all red. It was bizarre.
Yeah, the energy is just weird. When I watched it, I was just like, this is a bit... It don't make no sense why he's there, why he had to be there. There's so much isms and schisms. The math wasn't mathing.
Like, why would you do that for free? Because I can't imagine that guy's paying him. He's not that big to be paying. To pay Will Smith. That's got to be millions. So what kind of a cut? That instantly puts this man into question for me. Like, who are you? You know, when I see people gassed, like I saw the video where he's gassed, like, "Yo, Will Smith, nice to meet you." Why are you gassed to meet a disgusting person like that? You're still idol worshipping in 2025 when there's war around the corner. And it's what you're focusing your energy on as a black man, a waste man to me. It's nice. I ain't got no time for paedophile protection. I was going to ask you a question as well, because you brought up Capleton, yeah? What's your opinion, on the rise of Capleton, Sizzler, and Buju Banton recently connected to DJ Khaled? Because, you know, like DJ Khaled's put them on and they're like...
A lot of people don't understand. If you go back to Khaled's early years, he was going to Jamaica, playing sound systems and that. So he's always been a part of it, even though he's a big celebrity and all of that. He's always kind of paid homage to Jamaica in that sense. So that's why they probably respect him. You know what? He's always paying respect to us, so why not work with him?
I think I agree with you, man. I think they've sold out. I think, in my humble opinion, and this isn't like undeniable proof, but we're pretty sure that DJ Khaled is a homosexual. Yeah. And again, I love people, humanity. Yeah, but I'm just bold enough to say what I need to say. Why would these reggae artists who are completely anti-gay work with a homosexual artist like that?
Yeah. But as I'm saying, that Buju and that wearing Versace and all these things, so you can see the times of change in the sense of like, and in the sense of like, it was the LGBT community that kind of shut down. Peter Chichigel, whatever his name is, that English guy, stopped them coming from England. So they're like, you know what, we can't burn them out like we used to because it's just burning us. Because our people ain't sticking up for us. So they kind of had to step back and really think,
stop making the
what's the
homophobic music.
Yeah, homophobic music ain't paying the bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It sounds good. Look at Boom Bye Bye, that got cancelled for years. You know what I mean? Boom Bye Bye. You can't even play that tune in Carnival. You know, just a song, but we can play Digga D talking about stabbing a man down the road. Do you see the brainwashing? You know what I mean? One sec, bro. How long we got left? Couple minutes. All right.
Perfect.
All right. 5 minutes? All right, then, yeah. So, all right, then we're going to do it. It's okay for us to, it's not okay for us to burn out these things, even though I've even come to a grounding in my life where I'm like, do what you want to do sexually, but I just don't believe in, you have to tell me, like, you don't have to put up a flag. You don't have to push it in my face. Why for that? You don't need to tell me what you're doing. That's what baffles me. I've met you. I met whoever today. I'm not gonna say, oh hi, I'm Daryl. I'm straight. I don't care.
Yeah, and I have a penis, but I'm gonna change it one day. Like, yeah.
But so we're gonna do an outro now. So give them your social medias and stuff before I forget. Then we can just talk out and fade it out.
Okay. Cool. So to find me on, my main thing is Instagram, I'd say, and that's Indigoo Child with 2 O's, so INDIGOO Child. And on TikTok it's the same but with 27 afterwards, so Indigoo Child 27. That would be the main point of contact to find me and my content right now, for sure.
So do you have any predictions for this year? Like any quick predictions? So if we look,
quick predictions would be a coordinated attack at some point. Yeah, with this false Islamic invasion.
On English soil?
On English soil. Yeah, actually around the European soil. Yeah, actually it could even be around the whole West. This is how, like, it could be such a coordinated event. Remember, the leader of Al-Qaeda just said it's time to bring assassinations to the non-believers, which is me and you. So at this point, it's like the whole West. So I would say, I would say that from now at least to 2030 is like we're in the eye of the storm. And I would say that 2025 summer, we're in June right now, so like August, it's going to be the hottest summer ever. And like physically, spiritually, and mentally, it's going to be the hottest summer ever. There's going to be so much tension that the people that resonate with what me and the King are saying, our mission is just to stay grounded and like don't like act with the herd mentality when things start to go crazy. Like take a moment just to sit back and to know that you incarnated for this, you was born for this moment. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of fear and a lot of things to navigate. But when you know that the Most High brought you here for this moment, to be a leader so that we can trailblaze the new earth and create a new paradigm together, we're going to make it through.
Okay. Yeah, so you heard it here. So in a couple of months, we'll come back to this and we'll see what gone. Because I've seen you make predictions online and they've all been aligned, you know what I mean? Or most of them, I should say, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's going to be, the next couple of months is going to be so interesting. Like me too, I think this summer is going to be so interesting in the UK because it's a pot, it's bubbling. It's bubbling over. It's like so it could go left or it could go right. But I would say like, as humans and whatever, whether you're black or you're white, we're falling for the race baiting. You know what I mean? We're falling for it. Like immigrants ain't the problem. They are the problem up there. So not saying there's not problems with immigration, but the immigrants themselves ain't the problem, innit? No. That's what we need to realize. Or black people ain't the problem. White people ain't the problem. The problem is that we're not together, that there's no unity, there's no oneness. That's where they're winning. That's where they're controlling us. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and this... Yeah, and that's it, man. But it's London Open TV special with Indigoo Child. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, big up, love, peace and harmony.
More life.